last class में we have stopped while discussing about the types of neurons, lower motor neurons. Upper motor neurons are the neurons from the cerebral cortex till the spinal cord. Broadly, they are classified into a pyramidal system which deals with the corticospinal tract, and the rest of the tracts clubbed together as the extrapyramidal system. Lower motor neurons, that is the neurons in the spinal cord, which come out from the ventral horn cell of the spinal cord through the ventral roots of the spinal nerves. Broadly, in the motor neuron pool, you have two types of neuronal populations. The larger ones are the alpha motor neurons, and the smaller ones are the gamma motor neurons. You also see that majorly 2/3 of the neurons are alpha variety, and these are all things we have already discussed. Function, if you see, alpha motor neuron is concerned with carrying out voluntary motor commands or voluntary motor activities. So execution from the brain directly comes to the alpha motor neurons for voluntary actions. For gamma motor neurons, their function is maintenance of muscle tone, muscle length, which are not very explicit conscious activities, right? Conscious command के दौरान, if suppose there is a mismatch in the execution or something unexpected happens, कि जितना length या जितना force brain ने calculate किया था, that did not execute that way. तो moment to moment basis पे ये जो corrections हैं, right? Correction of the length and the tension developed in the muscle. So this is done by the gamma motor neurons, right? Apart from this, very important reflexes, spinal cord reflexes are mediated by gamma motor neurons. So majorly, what we understand is this is a voluntary function, voluntary execution. This is a little bit towards the involuntary type, right? Subconscious level पे कोई error correction and everything that happens here. Maintenance of tone and length. We've also talked about the structure called muscle spindle, right? Spindles are structures deep within the core of the muscle belly, right? Spindles are composed of proprioceptors, right? And proprioceptors which detect. So by definition, proprioceptors are receptors which sense position of the different parts of the body. तो muscle में, muscle के बीचों बीच अगर एक receptor है, how does it sense position? कैसे? So whenever a muscle contracts, this will cause movement in some joints. Relaxation पे भी movements होंगे joint पे. Contraction में the length of the muscle generally reduces, and relaxation which increases, comes back to the normal position, normal length again. If you stretch a muscle, the length increases again. So once a muscle is stretched, it will have a tendency of coming back again. So length and tension both are related in these ways, and all of this अगर ऐसा receptor so which can detect the length, which can detect the tension, तो ultimately joints में जो movement हो रहा है, body parts में जो change हो रहा है, all of this can be detected. So that is how it performs its function. Spindle के अंदर जो fibers है, they are called as intrafusal fibers, and the fibers outside which make a bulk of the muscle, that is the extrafusal fibers. So extrafusal fibers are supplied by alpha motor neurons. Intrafusal fiber, that means these fibers which are concerned with stretching, sensing stretch and tension, these are supplied by the gamma motor neurons, right? So contraction, if I say which one will be a stronger contraction, alpha activity will produce a stronger contraction. So today's class will further see how a muscle spindle functions, right? Then we'll define and classify reflexes. We'll also see some very basics reflexes of the spinal cord: stretch reflex, inverse stretch reflex, and withdrawal. Withdrawal reflex is a reflex operating at the level of the spinal cord, but it has very prominent projections to the cortex. So this is where we'll end. So for proper motor function, I've emphasized upon this point time and again कि moment to moment basis पे brain के पास feedback पहुंचना चाहिए, right? Either from the peripheries. So this feedback can come from the muscle spindle and from one more receptor called the Golgi tendon organ. Lung, what is the length of the muscle? This is 1. टाइप ऑफ फीडबैक इंस्टेंटेनियस की इस मोमेंट पे व्हाट इज द लेंथ ऑफ द मसल, सिर्फ जिस पे एक्टिविटी शुरू हुआ तो व्हाट इज द लेंथ ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर मसल, इज द लेंथ चेंजिंग, राइट, एंड इफ इट इज चेंजिंग what is the rate or speed at which the length is changing. So these three aspects are detected by the muscle spindle, right. Tension mein, what is the tension of the muscle right now, right, is it changing and how rapidly is it changing. So this is detected by Golgi tendon organs, so they detect tension. Now moving on to muscle spindle. So as I said, muscle spindle is a receptor that detects stretch. Now, which muscles of the body have more spindles and which of the muscles have less spindles? So think about your daily experience. The muscles where you require precise movements, उस muscles पे moment to moment basis पे length, change of length, rate of change of length, this feedback should go. But like it is very important for especially those movements जहाँ पे precision is important. So you see how it is actually there in the body. Spindles are more in the muscles which are concerned with precise movements and lesser in the muscles which are concerned with gross movements. So body में भी ये instantaneous feedback के लिए जो machinery है, spindle वाला जो feedback circuit है, it is more in those muscles controlling precise movements. Also remember, in nerve muscle physiology you have learned about the concept of motor units. कि एक मोटर न्यूरॉन ने हाउ मेनी मसल सेल्स और फाइबर्स डज इट सप्लाई, दिस इज अ मोटर यूनिट एंड दिस रेशियो इज कॉल्ड एज इनर्वेशन रेशियो. तो बॉडी में जहाँ जहाँ पे प्रिसाइज मूवमेंट्स चाहिए, लाइक द मसल्स ऑफ द आई, एक्स्ट्राक्यूलर मसल्स ऑफ द हैंड, प्रिसिशन जहाँ जहाँ पे इंपॉर्टेंट है, द इनर्वेशन रेशियो इज स्मॉलर, विच मीन्स एक मोटर न्यूरॉन इट इज सप्लाइंग लेस नंबर ऑफ मसल सेल्स, but that particular muscle has many motor units, right, precision आता है उससे. gross movements ज़्यादा पे present है, say the muscles of the back, postural muscles of the lower limb like the extensor muscles or anti-gravity muscles. In those muscles innervation ratio is large, which means one particular motor neuron is supplying a large number of muscle cells or muscle fibers. तो उससे precision कम हो जाएगा लेकिन force will be more. So muscle level पे this arrangement is there, जहाँ जहाँ पे precision है. Spinal cord level पे like this spindle circuit, so this is present like which is aligned with the functions. दोनों चीज़ें alignment में है. Now if you think about the brain में you have just like the sensory homunculus, brain में there is a motor valve called the motor homunculus. तो विच एरियाज ऑफ द बॉडी मूवमेंट्स आर प्रिसाइज, उनका जो रिप्रेजेंटेशन ब्रेन में है वो ज़्यादा है, डिस्प्रोपोर्शनेटली मोर और लार्जर रिप्रेजेंटेशन इन द ब्रेन कंपेयर टू अ मसल विच इज कंसर्न विद ग्रॉस मूवमेंट. तो यू विल रियलाइज एट द एंड ऑफ द यूनिट दैट एट एवरी लेवल, चाहे वो ब्रेन हो, स्पाइनल कॉर्ड हो, मसल हो, एट एवरी लेवल दिस अरेंजमेंट इज एक्चुअली वेरी स्पेशलाइज्ड, right, precision and force के लिए, and they are all aligned. That is the beauty of the system. So if you think of the whole picture, right, we are reading in parts but at the end of it सारे चीज़ें aligned है. Okay. Now intrafusal fibers, as I said, muscles of the muscle fibers of the muscle spindle. Now intrafusal fibers में there are two types, right, I'll just come to this in a bit. So one set of fiber that you see is here, which has a central bulge. So this is a nuclear bag fiber, right? Bag because of this central bulge or structure. And the other one is a nuclear chain fiber, right? So if you look at the nerve supply में you have afferents and efferents. So afferent supply is from group 1A, right? You have two types of supplies here, primary afferent and secondary afferents. Primary ones supplied by group 1A, it supplies the central part of both bag fibers and chain fibers. The primary one supplies both chain and bag, and they are taken by group 1A group of neurons. Now do you remember this numbering 1A, 1B, etc.? This is not something new, right? You have read about it but seems like you have forgotten. I'll go back to nerve physiology. Nerve fiber classification में there are two types of classification which are important. One classification was Erlanger and Gasser classification, where we classified A, B, C. A में we have seen A alpha, A beta, A gamma, A delta likewise. दूसरा जो classification बिल्कुल उस table के नीचे था, it is there in the book. This is Lloyd and Hunt classification. So this Lloyd and Hunt classification is for sensory nerve fibers only. तो एक दूसरे scientist ने एक दूसरा classification दिया. So there we have the classification is like 1A, 1B, 1C like this. So but it essentially 1A refers to the large diameter myelinated fibers. So speed, it is fast. Group 2 is slightly thinner compared to 1A fiber. The secondary efferents are from, as you can see in the structure, only from the nuclear chain fiber, right? Secondary efferent from chain fibers only. Remember this. So this is the sensory nerve supply of the muscle spindle. The central part में जो endings है, that is the ending of the primary efferents. They are described as annulospiral endings, and the peripheral part में the efferent supplies are sometimes described as flower spray endings. So these are just names for primary and secondary nerve endings on the muscle. Moving on to the efferent or the motor supply. So motor supply में you can see clearly. So both the things that you see here, diagrams are gamma motor neurons, right? But उसमें ends में you will find the dynamic efferent gamma efferent neurons. What is dynamic and what is static? I'll just come to this in a bit. But remember this, nuclear back fibers में ends में जो supply है, that is dynamic efferent. Static में you see actually projections in both bag and chain fibers, but major bulk of the static supply goes to the nuclear chain fibers. So from this slide, what you remember about the motor supply is this, that it is predominantly by gamma. Spindle में the supply is by gamma motor neurons. Nuclear back fibers में जो neuron supply है, that is dynamic in nature. Chain में जो supply है, that is generally static in nature. Chain में तो है ही नहीं, it is static. Static के दो projections as I said, but remember major one is nuclear chain fiber. Right? This we can see. If you also look carefully, spindle के बीचों बीच, center of the spindle has not got any motor supply, right? So why do you think it's there? Does it have an importance? Center of the muscle spindle has not got any motor supply, because the answer is here, the central part, it has got no contractile proteins, right? It has not got any actin, myosin, anything. So even if had there been any motor supply, it would not have been able to contract, right? So that's why the body is built in such a way that central part of the spindle has not got any supply. Peripheral part has got the supply. Now what happens? Think of the spindle as a structure like this. Central part mein you have the sensory endings. Sensory endings concept which will detect the degree of stretching. Length mein kitna change aaya. So we have just seen sensory supply majorly in the center of the spindle. Ends of the spindle may you have both the static and dynamic efferent fibers. तो motor supply जो ends में है, if a signal goes to the motor neurons to the ends में तो contractile proteins present है, right? So whenever a muscle fiber contracts, what happens to that? It becomes short, right? This is a rule. If you stimulate a muscle fiber, it will become short. So this is a muscle spindle. Imagine it to be a thread like this. Ends में there are some contractile proteins. So it will, whenever it is being stimulated, the ends will contract. So when the end contracts, what happens? बीच में जो sensory endings है, what will they detect? They will detect that there is a length increase in the muscle. There is a stretch in the muscle. So this is what happens. So when there is a discharge of the gamma motor neurons, central part gets stretched. Why? Because the ends become short, and this phenomena is called as spindle loading, right? Let's see what happens after that. So if there is spindle loading, there should be some unloading also. So in this diagram, what you see is a neural circuit. कि कौन सा चीज कहाँ जा रहा है. So here you find this is the location of the spindle right at the center. So these are right. Golgi tendon organ is from the peripheral parts of the muscle, right? इसमें नाम में ही tendon organ. So two proprioceptors that we talked some slides back. So coming back to the spindle, the one in green color is the afferent one, right? As you can see, green color, the afferent one is mostly the central part. तो information लेके ये जा रहा है towards through the dorsal horn to the spinal cord, and here it is forming lot of synapses. Some directly to the gamma motor neurons, the one you see in red. So this is supplying the ends. So ends, as I said just now, if this part contracts, what will happen? It will stretch. So this is what the spindle is detecting, right? If you look closely at the circuit, you will also see that there are a lot of interneurons. So interneuronal pool, spinal cord level pe, it is more in number as compared to the motor and the dorsal sensory horns. So relay, some of the relay happens directly, but bulk of the relay happens through interneurons. And इसी बीच you will also find the descending fibers. तो brain से जो control signals लेके spinal cord तक पहुँच रहे हैं, so they will also relay on this circuits only, right? So direct relay हो सकता है, it can also relay indirectly through some interneurons, and these interneurons can be excitatory and inhibitory both. तो इसके effects will also be different. So we'll talk about this descending influences in the next class. What do you see in this diagram? Just to give you an idea ki what is the diameter of the different fibers. So 1A and 1, we talked about 1A fiber and 2 fiber. So these are large diameter. 1A is the largest, 17 micrometer. So this is similar to A alpha, closer to that. Motor में जो gamma fibers, as you can see, both the ends 5 micrometer in diameter, so it is thinner. And alpha neurons, which supplies the rest of the muscle, extrafusal fiber, as you can see, A alpha 14 micrometers. So you get an idea about the different dimensions of the nerve fiber as well as the total spindle length. Now there are something called as static and dynamic responses of the spindle. So when a spindle length is stretched, so this is the length of the spindle, say 1 centimeter we have just seen, right? So if it is say stretched, but that stretch is a gradual stretch, right? So moment to moment basis pe what happens is sensory nerves say signals are detected and nerve signals will increase, nerve traffic will increase. So when spindle length reduces, the nerve traffic reduces. So ये एक important learning point है. When the length increases, primary efferents and as well as secondary efferents both are stimulated, right? And अगर endings stimulate हो रहे हैं तो nerve signals will increase in both 1A and 2 fiber, primary as well as secondary. So this is a static one. Why? Because it is dealing with a gradual change. इसलिए हमने इसको कहा कि static response is this. Dynamic response is seen when the spindle is suddenly, length of the spindle changes suddenly, right? So few slides back, when we talked about what are the types of feedback, is the length changing, right? So for that we have a static response. What is the rate of the change of length? किस speed से length change हो रहा है? So that is what is detected by the dynamic response. So when the spindle length changes suddenly, only primary efferents are activated. So here you see a difference, right? And you can see that when actually the quantum, so even if a fraction of a second, if there is a change, even that can be detected by the dynamic efferents. What you also see here is, as soon as the length change happening, stops, तो एक increased length पे now it is held, तो dynamic response will stop, static response will continue. तो ये एक important concept you have to understand. So when length is changing, suppose 1 centimeter पहले था, now it has increased to say 1.5 centimeters. So this length increase, the response that happens is both primary and secondary efferents, and इसको कहते हैं static response. Now if you change, suppose 1.5 के बाद suddenly there is some event, there is a sudden change, very fast there is a change, 1.5 say in seconds it reaches to 1.7 centimeters. So during that actively changing time, so ये जो एक dynamic activity was, this is called as the dynamic response. Now let's say it again, this rate of change stops, तो 1.7 पे वो अभी maintained है. So dynamic say now it again the response comes to static. One more point, as I said, dynamic response में it is the primary efferents only which can detect. तो primary efferents कहाँ थे? So this is the primary central part में, and secondary efferents are only on the nuclear chain fibers, right? Now if you look at this picture and you जो भी dynamic and static concepts that we've just learned, if you apply, if I ask you out of this bag and chain fiber, which one is detecting static change, static response, what will be your answer? It is majorly the nuclear chain fiber, क्योंकि static के लिए दोनों primary और secondary चाहिए. So this is length change static response, right? Dynamic is detected only by the primary, so nuclear back fiber is concerned with the dynamic response, and hence rate of change of length is determined or detected by the nuclear back fibers majorly, right? Now coming back to like this one, what happens when you stimulate the gamma motor neurons? तो हमने पिछले slides में we have seen कि है क्या होगा, what are the gamma motor neurons, कि there is one static and one dynamic. So ends of the spindle, as I said, if you stimulate, the ends will contract, ends अगर contract करेंगे तो वो खींचेंगे, so central part will be stretched. So this difference the efferent nerve endings producing impulses. This we have already learnt. Now what is the dynamic and static gamma efferent? If you stimulate the dynamic gamma efferents, जो कि सिर्फ न्यूक्लियर बैक फाइबर्स को सप्लाई कर रहे हैं, सो इट एनहेंसेस द डायनामिक रिस्पॉन्स. दैट मीन्स इन अदर वर्ड्स डायनामिक सेंसिटिविटी, यानी रेट चेंज होने का जो सेंसिटिविटी है, राइट, दैट इंक्रीजेस. सो दिस इज व्हाट हैपेंस व्हेन गामा मोटर न्यूरॉन डिस्चार्ज इंक्रीजेस, कि स्पीड डिटेक्शन, लेंथ चेंज हो रहा है, स्पीड में हो रहा है, दैट इज डिटेक्टेड. ये तो उसका काम है, इट विल डिटेक्ट इट. बट ऑन टॉप ऑफ इट, इफ यू स्टिमुलेट द डायनामिक गामा मोटर न्यूरॉन्स, सेंसिटिविटी ऑफ डिटेक्शन इंक्रीजेस, राइट. स्टैटिक में इफ यू स्टिमुलेट, इट स्टिमुलेट्स द न्यूक्लियर चेन फाइबर्स, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स द न्यूक्लियर चेन फाइबर्स, दे विल ऑल्सो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, राइट. तो उसमें जो नर्व एंडिंग्स हैं दे विल बी डिफॉर्म, तो सिग्नल्स विल इंक्रीज. तो लेंथ चेंज का या स्टैटिक रिस्पॉन्स का जो सेंसिटिविटी है दैट विल इंक्रीज, राइट. इन अदर वर्ड्स, स्टैटिक efferent will maintain a tonic level of activity in both 1 and 2. Why tonic? Why not phasic? Because it is the static response. Static response धीरे धीरे होता है, that is why the name static. तो if you stimulate the static gamma efferents, that means the chain fibers only, तो एक certain level पे muscle activity is certain length पे it is maintained. So this discussion again will come when we talk about regulation of muscle tone and posture, right. So here as I said, chain fibers length change को detect कर रहा है, and nuclear back fibers concerned with rate of change of length, right. So this is the static, which is majorly in the chain, dynamic majorly in the nuclear bag. So dynamic fiber stimulation से what happens, rate of length change detection, sensitivity of the spindle increases, वो और ज़्यादा अच्छे से it can detect. Static, if it is stimulated, तो एक certain level पे it maintains the muscle length and tone. This is the net effect of what happens, right? So increased gamma motor neuron activity increases spindle sensitivity during stretch. We have all learned from this, since it becomes more sensitive. So if somehow, like this is the clinical implication now, if because of any disease, right, if the gamma motor neuron discharge increases somehow, what will happen to the spindle? Spindle will become hyperactive or overactive. ज़्यादा sensitive होने का मतलब यही है कि it becomes more active, right? So this is what happens in a lot of lesions of the brain. कि brain में lesions की वजह से the spindle becomes hyperactive because gamma motor discharge increases. So we'll talk about this when we talk of the descending tracts. Now let me ask you, we have talked about the gamma motor neuron so much. Alpha motor neuron, if they are stimulated or activated, so spindle में उसका क्या effect आएगा? Anyone? Remember, alpha is supplying the extrafusal fiber. So if alpha motor neuron is activated or stimulated, what will be the effect on the spindle? So if you are stimulating alpha motor neuron, the muscles will contract. It is obvious. If a muscle contracts, what will happen to the muscle? It will become shorter or will be stretched. क्या होगा? When the muscle contracts, it becomes shorter, right? Spindle कहाँ पे है? Spindle muscle के बीच में. So when the muscle overall becomes short, spindle also becomes short. The spindle is not stretched now. The spindle activity actually reduces when alpha motor neuron is activated. And experimentally, but body में ये बहुत कम होता है कि there is only alpha activity and no gamma activity. Usually it does not happen. Alpha and gamma are activated together by the CNS. क्योंकि brain को पता है it might happen. But experimentally it has been found कि without changing the gamma motor neuron activity, if only alpha is experimentally stimulated with electrodes, the spindle activity reduces to zero. Right? This is what happens actually. Now functions of the muscle spindle. So we'll put all together. अभी तक हमने जितना सीखा है, we'll just put in perspective. The first function is it is detecting proprioception. That means position of the body, and proprioception is important for smooth motor activities, right? क्योंकि ये एक feedback दे रहा है. कहाँ पे दे रहा है feedback? So I come to this point again and again. Feedback from this goes to the cerebellum through the posterior or dorsal spinocerebellar tract, ताकि cerebellum can compare. Cerebellum already has a copy of the plan. तो feedback के साथ it can compare. If there is an error, it will correct it. Spindle also operates to maintain muscle length, right? How? So the gist of the matter is, whenever there is a muscle stretching, right? The spindle also is stretched. The spindle में activity increases, spindle discharge increases, and as a result of this, what happens? There is a reflex shortening of the muscle. So this particular activity, this phenomena is called as the stretch reflex. I'll just come to this in a bit, which tells us that if you stretch it, it will reflexly shorten. So it is maintaining the length of the muscle that is just optimal. जितना होना चाहिए moment to moment basis पे, this is what is maintaining. If the muscle is shortened, reduces the spindle sensitivity and there is a reflex muscle relaxation. So this is how the muscle spindle maintains optimal muscle length. Third important function is again through the stretch reflex circuit and the descending influences from different areas of the brain through the descending tract, spindle also maintains muscle tone, right? Now what is muscle tone? So there is a state of partial contraction of the muscles even when we are at rest, right? If this tone is not there, what would have happened? Muscle का एक attachment, एक origin, एक insertion है. We have all learnt about this in anatomy for every muscle. there is an attachment, origin and insertion. We talk of the biceps. If there is no tone, so muscles would have been hanging like clothes from a hanger without that tone, right? So this resting state of partial contraction is maintained by a stretch reflex circuit. कि एक level पे stretch maintained है. If this some amount of stretch is maintained rest में, तो spindle में थोड़ा बहुत activity होगा, and what happens is muscle shortens, as I said, right? So there is a tendency of shortening. It will try to form some amount of force of contraction. बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं होगा, but will be at some level it is maintained, right? So stretch reflex helps us in maintaining muscle tone. Now why do you think कि resting state of body में there is this stretch? ऐसा क्यों है? So you go back today, you read the muscle physiology again. You see how all these things are related. Muscle में you have learnt about a length tension relationship in muscle, right? उसमें आपने बहुत सारे lengths के बारे में पढ़ा है. There is an optimal length, there is equilibrium length, there is a resting length. This is all there in the book, right? तो जिस length पे muscle body में है, the length of the muscle fiber in the living human body, you already at some amount of stretch, origin and insertion, optimal length. If you cut off the bony attachments and put the muscle separately out of the body, the muscle will occupy or it will form a smaller length, right? So body में attachments में the muscle is already at some amount of stretch, and you see the beauty. ये ऐसा ही होना चाहिए, otherwise tone cannot be maintained. If there is no stretch, the stretch reflex circuit will not be active and there will be no tone. Okay, the fourth and also a very important function again is it is dampening the neuronal oscillations. What does this mean? Motor neuron pool of the spinal cord जो कि signal लेके जा रहा है muscle तक, that actually the discharge of the motor neurons is not very smooth, right? One neuron discharges now, the other like at different points of time. When we think of the overall muscle contraction, anything in our day-to-day activities, उसमें ये jerky nature of neuron firing is not reflected, right? So that means somehow these jerks or these irregularities are smoothened. अगर ये नहीं होता, what would have happened? You are trying to flex the biceps, एक बार में it is not happening, it is becoming jerky, it is having twitches. Why? Because as I said, nature of the neurons in the spinal cord is all of them will not fire in a synchronized manner. एक दो इधर उधर होंगे, and there are millions of neurons, so you can think about so much of chaotic activities there. So this picture compares the difference between the force of contraction in a normal muscle on attempt of contraction and this one where the sensory nerve roots from the muscle was denervated. That means spindle तो है, but spindle का जो afferent fiber था, sensory fiber था, spinal cord तक, that has been cut off. So you see the contraction. The contraction is very irregular, twitchy and chaotic, right? So one of the ways by which brain smoothens it, it is through dampening effect of muscle spindle, right? There are a lot of other mechanisms. If you think about the motor unit again, I try to go back to nerve and muscle physiology just to give an idea that all of these things happen together and all of these are aligned with one another. This other mechanism of maintaining the smoothness is if you look at the distribution of motor unit territory. Now a single muscle that you see on your eye, the gross examination, whichever muscle you see, it is made up of numerous motor units. You all understand this? हर motor unit के लिए there is a separate motor neuron. It may be that in that motor unit it may have 10 muscle fibers or 20 muscle fibers or 50 muscle fibers, but overall in the muscle there are a lot of such motor units. Now as I just said कि हर एक motor neuron में there is erratic and asynchronous firing, right? but distribution of the motor unit is such that इनके territories आपस में overlapped हैं. One territory of one motor unit enters the territory of the other. It is not a strict watershed compartment like this. ये होता तो twitching होता एक के बाद एक, but this motor unit territories are greatly overlapped. So this also overall muscle level पे smoothen out कर रहा है contraction, right? So this is how these things operate in the body. Moving on to the reflexes. Right, now what is a reflex? Reflex is a involuntary. So 2-3 words are important here. One, reflex action is always very fast, so it is a rapid response. It is an involuntary response. Involuntary is second key word or criteria. And third, it is without the conscious involvement of the brain. So it usually involves the spinal cord, but not the conscious involvement of the brain. So these are the 3 important criteria. Now why did I use the word usually here? CVS में while you read about triple response in cardiovascular system, there is a concept of the axon reflex, right? So axon reflex is a reflex which does not have a relay in the spinal cord also. So axon के एक branch से दोबारा it comes back to the skin. So that is why I use the word usually here. Right? All other reflexes, they will have a component in the spinal cord. So a reflex is the simplest form of motor activity, and क्योंकि you can see this reflex arc, right? It has both sensory components and motor components. So it is also the simplest form of sensory motor integration. What are the components of a reflex arc? It is a race, right? RACEE. R is for the receptor, whichever receptor you think of. A is for the afferent. C is for the control center, right? So here the control center is in the spinal cord. If there is afferent and the efferent neuron, spinal cord where the synapse is happening. So spinal cord in the spinal reflexes, this is the control center. So RAC. This E is for the efferent and the last E is for the effector muscle. Components of reflex arc. Classification of reflex arc, if you see, what are the different types of classification? On the basis of number of synapses, you can classify reflexes into monosynaptic and polysynaptic. अगर एक ही synapse से बीच में, so it is a monosynaptic. More than one, it is polysynaptic. Now there are 2 forms of physiological classification based on the nature of the response and the stimulus. One way of classifying it is stretch reflex and withdrawal reflex. If you stretch a muscle through a reflex arc, that particular muscle will shorten or contract. वही जो हमने spindle function में बात की. So it is the contraction or shortening of a muscle to stretch, right? So this is called as the stretch reflex, simplest activity. So remember, this is also called as the muscle tone. Resistance offered by the muscle to stretch is called as the muscle tone. और resistance क्यों आ रहा है? Because the muscle is contracting. Original stimulus आपने दिया था stretching, उसके result में it is contracting or shortening. यानी this is the effect is resisting the original stimulus. So this is called as the muscle tone, right? जो हमने बात किया कि partial state of contraction at rest. So this is resistance offered by the muscle to stretch. Depending on what is the response, we again have extensor reflex and a flexor reflex. All stretch reflexes are actually extensor reflexes in nature, and withdrawal ones are flexor reflexes. Clinically, we also classify them as superficial reflex if the structures where the receptor is superficial. जैसे skin में अगर कोई stimulus आप दे रहे, so that is a example being a plantar reflex, abdominal reflex. Stimulus is given on the skin, so that's why superficial. If it is given in the deeper structures like the tendons, these are called as deep tendon reflexes. And reflexes mediated in the visceral organs. You have learned a lot of reflexes, say in the GI tract, right? बहुत सारे रिफ्लेक्सेस है, गैस्ट्रोकोलिक रिफ्लेक्स, लाइक एंड लॉट ऑफ अदर्स. सो विसरल ऑर्गन्स में जो रिफ्लेक्सेस हैं, दिस आर विसरल रिफ्लेक्सेस. The last basis, no, not the last actually. These are the important ones from physiology point of view. In anatomy, again, there is one more classification: the cortical reflex, segment. Then you have reflexes from the brain stem, bulbar reflexes, right? Then segmental reflexes. So anatomically, that part is important. Structure कहाँ पे? Where is the center? Conditioned reflexes. On the basis of conditioning, we classify them into innate, which are non-conditioned reflexes, and acquired reflexes, which are conditioned to after birth. Now we'll discuss about the stretch reflex. So when a skeletal muscle is with intact nerve supply, so this is important, nerve supply should be intact. If that is stretched, the muscle will contract, right? So muscle contract, that means the muscle will shorten. So all deep tendon reflexes that will also do it in the practical lab, knee jerk, bicep jerk, tricep jerk, etc. All deep tendon reflexes are examples of stretch reflex. And this, as you can see in the diagram here, involves a single synapse. So this was the muscle that was stretched, right? So afferent, 1A afferent detecting stretch. So कहाँ से आया ये stretch? This one is from the spindle, right? Spindle, which is in the central part of the muscle. So it enters the spinal cord through the dorsal horn, and here it replays in the effector organ, right? So जो the muscle which was stretched, so that is contracted to the alpha motor neuron. Remember, alpha motor neuron supplies the extrafusal fiber. तो alpha में अगर activity ज़्यादा होगा, muscle will contract strongly, right? And if the muscle contracts, what happens? It will shorten. तो if the muscle is shortened, spindle में जो एक stretch detect हुआ था, that will be relieved, right? So this is called as spindle unloading. तो loading हमने discuss किया था, when the muscle is stretched, right? That was called as spindle loading. Response of the stretch reflex relieves the stretch on the spindle. So that is called as spindle unloading. The stretch reflex operates to relieve or unload the spindle. So this type of technical terms are important to discuss because it is there in the books. You never know where you get the questions out of this in your entrance exams in the future. Spindle loading, unloading, and all of this. Okay. Here you have one synapse. If you think about this pathway, here you have one synapse in the pathway. So at every synapse, for you have talked about synaptic delay, the main property of a synapse. First property, pre से post तक पहुंचने में the time that is taken is synaptic delay. This is called as a central delay because it is happening within the CNS. So 0.5 milliseconds, that is the time that is taken. So is it a fast or a slow one? It is very fast. एक ही synapse है, so it is of course very fast. If number of synapses are more in the pathway, suppose a polysynaptic reflex, it will take longer time. For every synapse, minimum of 0.5 milliseconds should be taken. Right? Now what also mechanism we already talked. You see here what has happened here. Antagonist muscle जो है उस particular joint पे. So this was the muscle which was stretched, इस पे तो आ ही रहा है. But antagonist muscle is also inhibited. So this is called as reciprocal inhibition, right? So if biceps is stretched, so stretch reflex will operate to cause contraction of the biceps muscle, shortening of the biceps muscle ताकि stretch relieve हो. But at the same time, if the biceps has to contract, जो antagonist muscle है triceps, that should relax, right? It has to be, otherwise activity will not be, final output will not see anything. So antagonist muscle should relax. So this happens because of reciprocal innervation. So same some branches from the afferents through an inhibitor interneuron. So this is where reciprocal innervation happens. So this is it activates one interneuron which is inhibitory. This in turn inhibits the antagonist muscle. So this happens along with the main stretch reflex. So what happens is ultimately the muscle is shortened, which relieves the stretch. So what do we see here? That stretch reflex operates to prevent change in the length of the muscle. Right? This is the basic function of a stretch reflex. In other words, it resists the original stimulus of the stretching. Right? And jitna resistance apply hua, that is called as muscle tone. Resistance offered by muscle to stretch is called as muscle tone. So I will not go into the details here. So muscle contraction, what do you see here at the end of this discussion? Contraction can happen directly, right, and indirectly. Direct contraction can happen with the help of alpha motor neuron which supply the extrafusal fiber. वो कहाँ से activate होंगे? From the descending tracts of the spinal cord directly by command. Indirect is if gamma motor neuron discharge increases somehow. अगर suppose there is ऐसा कोई descending tract from the brain or from the brain stem which is terminating on the gamma motor neurons, fine. So gamma motor neuron activity is increased by the brain or the brain stem, descending tracts. अगर ऐसा कोई tract what will happen? If gamma motor neuron discharge increases, stretch reflex will become hyperactive. So this is also one form of contraction of muscle, but this is indirect. So brain can actually use both. This is called as alpha gamma coactivation. So always in the body, alpha neurons and gamma motor neurons are activated together. This is a basic principle or tenet of motor physiology. So if what happens if there is only alpha motor neuron activity, muscle spindle will stop. अगर सिर्फ इतना हो. If only gamma activity is there, spindle will become too sensitive, right? Ends contract होंगे, it will become very sensitive. Stretch reflex will be hyperactive, and this will oppose the change in the stretch. तो जो intended activity हम करना चाह रहे हैं, that cannot be done, right? So tone in the muscle will increase. So either of the cases, it is not fruitful for our day-to-day activities. So together, when brain activates both alpha and gamma, this type of extremes are prevented. So extremes में नहीं जा रहा, spindle activity is balanced. When I say balanced, you see length of the receptor portion of the spindle. So receptor is in the center of the spindle. The spindle itself is in the center of the muscle. So receptor portion, length of the receptor portion of the spindle doesn't change during the course of the whole muscle contraction. तो receptor का जो function है spindle का कि stretch relate करना वो intact है, right? So alpha activity से क्या होगा? एक साथ अगर हम सोचें, what happens? Alpha will cause overall muscle shortening, तो there is a tendency of muscle will shorten. छोटा होगा वो. Simultaneously, if gamma neurons are also stimulated, gamma जा रहा है कहाँ पे? Ends of the spindle. Spindle is stretched. तो alpha effect से जो muscle shorten कर रहा था, and उसके अंदर जो spindle shorten कर रहा था, that is counteracted by the gamma. क्योंकि gamma motor neurons are supplying the ends, तो the spindle is stretched. So overall, receptor portion of the spindle does not shorten out of proportion to the overall muscle shortening. Muscle length इतना छोटा हो रहा है, उसके हिसाब से spindle length is maintained. Right? Do you get this? So this is what happens when both of them act together. One more way of thinking the same thing. Brain takes advantage of both the alpha and gamma systems. How? So if you want to raise, lift up a load, so brain from its previous experience, say if you have a glass of water which is full and a glass of water which is empty, दोनों के लिए the movement, the force required will be different, right? So this type of activities, conscious calculation for a load comes through the alpha motor neurons. Brain calculates कितना चाहिए which muscle should move, how much degree of force should be there, और उस force के लिए which muscle should contract, which should relax. So this comes to the alpha one. Now during execution, suppose somehow the glass cracks and water start leaking, तो उस दौरान the load will reduce, right? So now there should be some readjustment कि load जितना था, calculation जितने के लिए आया था, now it has to be readjusted. So there has to be some mechanism within the muscle which can detect this instantaneous change. So that is what the spindle does, and at the spinal cord level itself, it can make the necessary adjustments. ठीक है? So this is the advantage of having alpha gamma coactivation, right? So two things. So from this topic that we discussed today, spindle is a very important question from exam point of view, and stretch reflex. So all the reflexes, the other ones I will complete in the next class. Stretch reflex, spindle, you are often asked as short notes, right? And alpha gamma coactivation, the concept is asked in the form of a give reason, right? So I'll stop here. Next class we'll talk about the remaining type of reflexes and the descending tracts of the brain, right? Thank you.